Greetings, L. Robinson here, and I want to welcome you back to Protocol Evolution. Still loving the sound of that. Protocol Evolution just sounds like official. It is official, because we are definitely going to evolve here. However, let me just jump right into what it is that we're going to talk about in this clip. Let me ask you a question. Is your past holding you hostage? Now, just think about that for a second. Is your past holding you hostage? Is your past keeping you from moving forward? Is your past making you feel like you're stuck? You just can't get any place. You can't get anywhere because as soon as you feel like you're getting someplace, here comes your past crashing into your present day life. How does that happen? How do we allow our past to hold us hostage? Well, it's this thing up here. This gray matter that is more powerful than any supercomputer on this planet that is just, it just does stuff on its own. I mean, we're breathing because it knows to do that, but yet and still we can write a note, we can go to the store, we can cross the street, and it makes sure that everything else is working inside of us the way it should be working. And there's a couple of protection mechanisms in there too. And one of those things that's kind of a protection mechanism is memory. Amazing, isn't it? I mean, when you're younger, you know that if you touch something that is hot or uncomfortable to the touch, your mind just files that away. Like, bam, don't do that again. That hurts us. Don't do that again. And the thing about that is it works on all levels. Now, let me put something out there. If you're over the age of 5 and you live in a civilized country, you have been lied to, cheated, disappointed, betrayed. Any of those things or all of those things has probably happened to you. And what happens is your mind tries not to, because you feel hurt. When someone betrays you, when someone lies to you, when someone takes something away from you, when someone deceives you, it makes you feel a certain way. And depending on the level of attachment you have to the person that has done this to you, it can seriously hurt. I mean, some people have to go into therapy just to get over it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. But see, the mind, that big supercomputer up in there, it's strange. It's really strange, and sometimes in its need to help, it actually hurts. And what I mean by that is, we've all experienced it. There's a certain smell, a song, songs are the words for this, a TV show that you're used to watching, maybe a movie, maybe a certain feeling, maybe just the way the leaves are blowing in the air, and they create a pattern that triggers a memory. And that memory comes in super clear Dolby FX, Future Bright 4K visuals, and it's there. And depending on how that memory affected you at that present time, how you felt after you were betrayed or deceived or lied to, it brings you right back. The same feelings, that feeling in the pit of your stomach, and you're stuck. You're just stuck. Your past has essentially held you hostage. You can't move forward at this present moment while you're thinking about something that happened in the past. It just doesn't. You're just frozen. Now, here's the thing, and it's easy to say, but and I'm going to be honest with you because, like I said, everything that I share with you, I have gone through. Okay, this is not something that I just thought would be cool to talk about. I have actually gone through this, and I'm going to give you a couple of ideas or solutions. Again, we do immediate response here that's going to help you get through these moments. Because the truth of the matter is, as long as you're stuck in the past, you can't deal with your present, therefore you make your future unobtainable. Okay? So, let's look at it like this. When you have these things, these memories come crashing down, and you can't move forward, it's because you're living in the past. Okay? You have actually transported yourself for that moment into the past, and you can't think straight. And in the beginning of this clip, I asked, is your past holding you hostage? To me, being held hostage means that you have someone, okay, who has done something, and they're using you as a chip or something negotiable. Okay, you have no freedom at this point. You're essentially kidnapped. You have to follow their orders, okay, because at the penalty of death or harm. So you can't do anything on your own. You have to always ask permission to do anything because you don't want to upset the person that's holding you hostage. And your life is basically held in two hands. It's held in the hands of the person who's holding you hostage, and hopefully, if you're lucky, a hostage negotiator. Okay? But and the thing that we're talking about right now, you actually play both of those roles right now. You play both the hostage taker and the hostage negotiator. Okay? Now the hostage negotiator's job is to get you out of there unharmed. And he's going to use both of them expect something. The hostage negotiator expects you to be let go and set free without any harm or loss of life. And the hostage taker wants something. The hostage taker wants something in return for you to be released. Okay, so they're at this constant battle, and that's what your mind is doing. Your mind wants something, whether it be vengeance, whether it be, I guess another word for vengeance is retribution. Maybe you want to, confront this person and set this person right. And you're being frozen there because your mind is telling you, you need to take it, you need to resolve this now. I can't do anything until you resolve this. I'm going to keep this thought playing in your head. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Whereas the hostage negotiator is saying, no, we don't have to do that. We don't have to go through this. Why don't you just let him move forward or her move forward? Why don't you just let her continue with her life? Because if you let her continue with his or her life, they can do something greater. They can do something bigger. They can do something that can make you happy. So now you have the hostage taker, I'll just say this half of your brain, and the hostage negotiator, and they're going through this constant battle, but at the same time, this image of something that happened in the past is playing in your mind. Okay? This is what you need to do. You need to give the hostage negotiator, the guy or the girl that's on this side of your head, you have to give them a little bit more power. You gotta help them out. And you're gonna help them out without angering the hostage taker. You don't want to anger the hostage taker, because all the hostage taker is going to do is just turn the screws a little bit or just completely shut you down. Stress and anxiety attacks are usually caused by dealing with the past. So yes, you can essentially be shut down, taken out of commission. You don't want that. You want to, sneak past the hostage taker and give the negotiator side of your brain a little bit of power. And I'm going to tell you how you do this. And I talked about one of these techniques in my book, which you can get for free just by going to the website, protocalevolution.com, and just send me an email, address your name, and we'll send you a link to get the book, How to Have a Stellar Life. Okay? Positive thoughts for a effed up world. I still won't drop the F bomb. Anyway, so back to giving the hostage negotiator side of your brain power. Well, in order to do this, you have to find a calm moment. For this first technique that I'm going to give you, you have to prepare ahead of time. Okay? We live in a post 9/11 world. We're always aware now of things that just don't look right. You see a backpack on a train and people get up, you're kind of scared. You're paying attention because your brain has been taught that, hey, listen, this is not really cool. You need to be aware. So what you have to do is you have to take sort of that same tact and prepare yourself, okay? And this is the way that I do it, and it seems to work for me, is I find an image of an extremely happy time in my life. It could be any point in your life, but you have to look for the time when you was extremely happy, when you cared about nothing. And a lot of people find these times in their early childhood because you really don't have too much worries for the most part in your early childhood. Your day is spent with talking to your friends, discovering new things, hanging out with your friends, and playing. and again, discovering new things. So with that being said, you have to find a part. Usually a lot of people gravitate to that area of their life, but there's other parts. It could be your first relationship that made you very, very happy, or the relationship that you're still in that makes you very, very happy. Maybe visualize that person's face. Maybe it's a favorite pet, how that pet makes you happy. Visualize your pet. And what you want to do is you want to make the most vivid and clear picture in your mind. You want to take a few moments to do this. And you want to make this so vivid that you can put it on a big screen and the movie theater, and people will watch it and say, "Ooh, you look at the brightness of those colors. When you look at the detail of that picture," and that's the picture you're going to put in your mind. Okay? And then you're going to take two fingers. You're going to take your middle finger and your thumb, and while you have that picture locked in your mind, you're going to squeeze. You are going to squeeze your thumb as hard as you can against that middle finger, and you're just going to think about that thought. You're just going to take a second. Nothing else matters in the world. Just that thought of happiness. That's all you care about. And you're drawing that picture in your mind. Okay? Relax. Take it easy. Do it again. Think of that picture. Bring it back in your mind. Make it even more vivid than it was before. Now you can see it in that theater in 3D. You're going to make it even more vivid. You're going to squeeze those two fingers, your thumb and your middle finger together as hard as you can. Okay? And then you're going to release it. Now, what we've just done is we have triggered our mind so that if we are ever held hostage by the past, that by squeezing our thumb and middle finger as hard as we can will actually bring that image back to mind. You can try it right now, because now we've made a link between these two fingers and the image that's being drawn in our mind. We've created a link here, okay? And when you squeeze those two fingers, and you can do this in public without being noticed, you just put your hands to your side and you squeeze those two fingers, and this memory is going to pop back up, and it's going to overwrite. It's going to overwrite what the hostage taker side of your mind is trying to portray. So as soon as you feel that trigger that's going to bring back that, man, we all know what the triggers are. Okay? If you've been betrayed, if you've been hurt, if you've been deceived, if you've been lied to, if you've been bamboozled, and that feeling of anger, of being sad, being upset comes back, we all know what triggers it. So as soon as those triggers come, you're already on top of it. You're squeezing that thumb and middle finger, and what's happening is the hostage taker has no power. The hostage negotiator side of your brain can run in and say, "Get out of here," arrest them, and take it out. Okay, it can take the hostage negotiator out. He's out of your life. You can now move forward. And this is another trick that actually works for short term. Again, you use these on intensities. Intensities of the, I guess you could say, the power of the hostage taker. There are certain things that just upset us, and they keep us stuck, but they upset us. And but they're not as serious. You know, it's not, the betrayal by a mate type thing. It's just the boss pisses you off, or one of your coworkers piss you off, and you remember that they threw you under the bus for something. You remember it. It doesn't stop your life completely, but it puts it on pause. So you have like the hostage taker, not some terrorist group, but you got the guy that's trying to rob a bodega. And that's the hostage taker side of your mind. I mean, you could probably run out of there and be safe anyway. But dude has weapons, so you want to let the hostage negotiator side of your brain do what it needs to do. And what I do is, as soon as these thoughts, I'm not going to say light, but these thoughts that don't hold the same intensity come into mind, I just stop and say purge. That's it. I just say purge. Not the movie, but I just say purge. And for some strange reason, and you can pick any word that works for you. You can use reset, you can use forget about it, you can use whatever word or phrase works for you, but you have to say it immediately. And you say it over and over and over again until, and you have to say it, people look at you sometimes like you're crazy, but, because you're just walking around the street going, purge, purge, purge. But it actually helps remove that memory from your mind. And those are actually two tricks. Again, like I said, if you just go ahead and get a free copy of my best-selling book, How to Sell a Life Effed Up, Thoughts for an effed up world. I think I know the title of my own book. You can go ahead and get that, and there's more tips and tricks in there. And I just want to give that to you for free. Again, it's the sharing thing. But what I want to touch base on, and it's very important that I touch base on this, is that your past is just that. It's your past. It's easy to say and it's harder to do, but you can't let your past stop you. You have to live in the moment. That's why I'm giving you these tricks right now to help you get past your past. It's almost akin to every memory that you drag along and you continually reflect upon, especially negative memories. It's actually like tying a 10-pound weight to your leg. And every thought, and then someone says, okay, your life is now depending on you running this 10K race and you've got to come in first. And you look back and you have all these weights attached to you. You have all this extra weight that is now part of your life. You have to begin to live in the moment. You have to, and I'm going to talk about this in the next clip. You have to, honestly, and this was a very hard concept, but I'm going to show you how to get through it, is to forgive and forget. It really is. You have to forgive and forget, because at the end of the day, the person that has hurt you or wronged you or deceived you or bamboozled you, this person is going on with their life. This person is doing what it is that they want to do with their life. And they're not bothered because they wouldn't have done what they did to you if it was going to bother them. They're not bothered by it. But you are. It's tearing you to pieces. So you have to let go, because you're essentially, that person is no longer your hostage taker. You are your hostage taker at this point. You are the one holding yourself hostage. They're gone. Sometimes they could be in another state. They might even be dead. But your brain is holding on to it in a strange way, only because it wants to protect you. But a lot of things, due to the way that we're brought up and the way that we're taught to perceive the world, is actually hurting you. So let go of your past. Again, next time we're going to talk about forgive and forget. Thank you again for joining me here at Protocol Evolution. Loving the name. And you guys have a stellar day. Love you.